Continue reading from Caitanya Caritamrita, Adi-Lila, Chapter 1, Text 54. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So we are on that part. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is speaking of the Chatushloki Bhagavatam in this part of Caitanya Caritamrita. Rite artham yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani tat vidyad atmano mayam yatha bhaso yatha tamaha. What appears to be truth without me is certainly my illusory energy, for nothing can exist without me. It is like a reflection of a real light in the shadows. For in the light, there are neither shadows nor reflections. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In the previous verse, the absolute truth and its nature have been explained. One must also understand the relative truth to actually know the absolute truth. The relative truth, which is called Maya or material nature, is explained here. Maya has no independent existence. One who is less intelligent is captivated by the wonderful activities of Maya, but he does not understand that behind these activities is the direction of the Supreme Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita 9.10, it is said, Maya Dhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. The material nature is working and producing moving and non-moving beings only by the supervision of Krishna. So the absolute truth is a person, and that is Krishna. Now, absolute truth means always existing or eternally, can't change, unchangeable. That's why it's absolute, and that's why it's truth. Now, what is relative truth? Relative truth means it's true relative to that particular time. So it keeps changing. It's not eternal. Those events are not eternal, and that relative truth is Maya. Now, many people think that Maya is independent, but Maya she is an energy of Krishna. Krishna puts this curtain of Maya for the souls who want to forget him. It's just that. And for one who want to remember him, the same Maya helps us to see Krishna, because she's Krishna's energy. So from Krishna's point of view, it's the same energy. Just depends on what's our consciousness. Like the electricity it gives power to a heater as well as to an air condition. Depends what we want. So Krishna's energy depends. If we want to come closer to him, the same Maya Devi helps us to come closer to him. If we want to forget him, we want to say, no, you don't exist, she helps us to cover our consciousness. Okay? And then Krishna says that this whole material nature is working under his direction. The real nature of Maya, the illusory existence of the material manifestation, is clearly explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. The absolute truth is substance, and the relative truth depends upon its relationship with the absolute for its existence. Maya means energy. Therefore, the relative truth is explained to be the energy of the absolute truth. Since it is difficult to understand the distinction between the absolute and relative truths, an analogy can be given for clarification. The absolute truth can be compared to the sun, which is appreciated in terms of two relative truths, reflection and darkness. Darkness is the absence of sunshine, and a reflection is a projection of sunlight into darkness. Neither darkness nor reflection has an independent existence. Darkness comes when the sunshine is blocked. For example, if one stands facing the sun, his back will be in darkness. Since darkness stands in the absence of the sun, it is therefore relative to the sun. The spiritual world is compared to the real sunshine, and the material world is compared to the dark regions where the sun is not visible. So the darkness it does not have a separate independence. What does darkness mean? Darkness means that the light is not there. As soon as there is light, there is no darkness. But there is no such thing as darkness, actually. You know, there's no substance as darkness. It's only when the light is not there, then it is dark. So similarly, when we are facing Krishna, then there is no Maya. But if we turn our face away from Krishna, then that is Maya. Just like if we are facing the sun, so our face is in the light, but our back is in the darkness, right? So when the sunshine is blocked, only then there is darkness. Then there will be a reflection in the darkness. When the material manifestation appears very wonderful, this is due to a perverted reflection of the supreme sunshine, the absolute truth, as confirmed in the Vedanta Sutra. So what is this material world? This material world is a reflection of the spiritual world. It's a perverted reflection. Perverted. So whatever is the highest in the spiritual world is the lowest here in the material world. And so, like we can see when we go to a bank of a river, we can see there are trees on the bank of the river, and then there is a reflection of the trees in the water. So we can understand how this material world is a perverted reflection. So the highest point of the tree, which is on the bank of the river, appears to be the lowest point in the reflection. That's how the material world is. And that is described in the Vedanta Sutra. Whatever one can see here has its substance in the absolute. As darkness is situated far away from the sun, so the material world is also far away from the spiritual world. The Vedic literature directs us not to be captivated by the dark regions, tamaha, but to try to reach the shining regions of the absolute, yogi dham. So all the Vedas, what they are trying to tell us, get out of this material world. It's not your true home. Go to the spiritual world. The spiritual world is brightly illuminated, but the material world is wrapped in darkness. In the material world, sunshine, moonshine, or different kinds of artificial light are required to dispel darkness, especially at night. For by nature, the material world is dark. Therefore, the Supreme Lord has arranged for sunshine and moonshine. But in his abode, as described in the Bhagavad Gita 15.6, there is no necessity for lighting by sunshine, moonshine, or electricity, because everything is self-effulgent. Here, this material world, we are so captivated by this material world. She has attracted us so much that we don't want to get out of here. But it's actually a very dark place. There is no light in this earth, water, air, fire, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. There is no light. It's only because the sun and moonshine is there. That's the reason we have light. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to see anything. And we are so attached to this dark matter. That which is relative. And similarly, the spiritual world is self-effulgent. There is no need for artificial lighting from sun and moon. Over there, the sun and moon are there only for the sake of decoration, for the sake of, looking attractive in the sky. Because everything is self-effulgent. Everything is bright, everything, because the light is coming out from the body of Krishna. So there's light everywhere. That which is relative, temporary, and far away from the absolute truth is called Maya or ignorance. This illusion is exhibited in two ways, as explained in the Bhagavad Gita. The inferior illusion is inert matter, and the superior illusion is the living entity. The living entities are called illusory in this context only because they're implicated in the illusory structures and activities of the material world. Actually, the living entities are not illusory, for they are parts of the superior energy of the Supreme Lord and do not have to be covered by Maya if they do not want to be so. The actions of the living entities in the spiritual kingdom are not illusory. They are the actual, eternal activities of liberated souls. So here we are in this material world, which is full of Maya. Now, what is this world is not an illusion, but we thinking that we are a part of this world. That is our illusion. This world is existing. It is there. Krishna has created this material world, but it is a temporary phase. Now, what is our illusion? We think that we belong to this material world, and actually, if we don't want to be covered by Maya, we can come out of it. We have that choice. That's our choice. If we do not want to be covered by Maya, it's not easy right now for us, but we can do it. We can. By associating with the devotees, we can, hearing and chanting the holy name. And the actions of the living entities in the spiritual kingdom, they are the real activities. And that's what we have to go. That's what we have to do. We have eternal activities. We have an eternal form. When we are liberated in the spiritual world, we have a spiritual form, our Swarup. And over there, our activities, there are our eternal activities. There is no birth, death, old age, and disease. There is no frustration. There is no illusion. Those are our true activities. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So we can stop here for today. Shri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari.